trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, folks, this is the Morgan Library, JP Morgan Library, right off of Rockefeller Plaza there on the 42nd Street in New York City. If you ever go there, go see it, folks. This is not wallpaper, folks. These are hand-painted. He had some dudes coming in from Italy and did that back in the 29s and 30s. And the ceiling, which you can't see, this is the sides of the ceiling, but the ceiling is a celestial diagram of what the what the cosmos looks like. And he was born on April 17th, so right over his birth sign is a secret passageway where the elevator opened up and opened into the library. You can all see that there. We've got Norm coming in. Norm Winsky is going to be coming in as our guest. He bought J.P. Morgan's Astrologer's Library, Evangeline Adams. And Evangeline Adams is very famous because she picked the top in 1929. After missing it 6 times in a row, just like Tudor Jones did in Treasury bonds and just like OLP has done in the stock market. You just got to keep trying, folks. Some days it's chicken salad. Some day it's chicken soup. You just don't know what you're going to get. All right, let's get up here and look at a few others that we were watching here today. Okay, this is the Dow Jones. You can see we had the 382. Now you can see here we've made a new low. So what we have to do is we have to recalculate the 382 because there's a new one coming in. Oh dear. Hopefully it was, but we'll see. You'll see. You'll be able to watch it as it. Technical difficulties, always the case. Let's get up here. There's where we are right there. You can see there's where we are right there. And that would be coming up to, that would be a 382 coming in off of that, okay? But we watch these real closely to keep our losses as small as possible, and that's what we're watching here this morning. Now, I wanted to bring to your attention a couple of things here that happened last night because I like to teach as I'm doing this because if repetition is the mother of all things, you know. So let's just take a look here this morning. When silver opened up, you'll see there it is, Sunday night. You see it pull back right to a 382 right here. This changed the whole structure of the market, folks. You see you have higher bottoms in here. You do have a higher top. Then you have the 382 that came in here. This was in the middle of the morning for you folks, okay? But what I did was I kept a library of it so we could see what was happening. And look what happened for the rest of the day. There's where we were before, okay? Now, there was the one we looked at the first time. There it is the second time. There it is the third time. Okay, now let's just continue on because this is how you decide whether you want to use this kind of stuff or not, because when it works very, very good. There it is, and you can see we went up, and the high was 64, I think 64.20, and then we have the big break to the downside. And the key was, once it broke below this level right here, this last 382, just like we did in Tesla, that said that the trend has now changed. This has been up all this time, but we've never broken the 382 all through here. But when we did this, that changed it. I know it's short term, but folks, if you're managing your risk, that's the kind of thing that you like to see happen. All right, so those are the main things that we're really watching. How did that help you? Because if you were looking at silver or gold, look at gold. When exactly, it took an hour to make the exact 382 and broke $30 to the downside. So that's what you're trying to do. Does it always work? Of course not. Okay, now one of the things that I covered in the newsletter this past week with the ABCD patterns that I've seen everywhere. Two of the questions that came across was, what was happening in 1987? Well, I happened to be writing a book about that time. This was right out of Astrocycles, The Trader's Viewpoint, that came out in 1988. I wrote it in 87. It came out late 87, but here was the top. This was the harmonic convergence. You can see there were 5 planets all lined up at 0 or opposition. Very, very rare. Hadn't seen that since 1974 when we had the double bottom in the stock market. There's your A leg right here. There's your B leg, there's your C leg, there's your D leg. It measures to almost exactly to the right price. The market came down into the solar eclipse of the 26th of September and then rallied 6 days into October 2nd, which is a Venus or Uranus aspect. And after that, the market broke. Now, how much did it break, folks? We were trading 2650, all right? Actually, it was trading just under 2670 is where it was on October the 2nd. It went from 2670, and then it was trading. You're not going to believe this, folks. You see that number right down there at 1600? That's where it went to in one day. Biggest day ever drop in the stock market, 22% in one day. 22% in a day like today would take the market down just a little over 10,000 points. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but, it happened once before. I happen to be a guest of, actually once a month I would be going to Financial News Network in Los Angeles at the Santa Monica station there that was run by Merrill Lynch, and Sue Herrera was the leader there along with Ron Insana and Bill Griffith, and I was a guest every month. And on the 22nd, it was the 7th or 8th of October, I was there, and on the show was none other than Arch Crawford, who had been in California visiting, and so he was on the I'd never met Arch before. We became friends after 88, but in 87, this is where we were, and Arch was saying he was looking for a big crash coming sometime in October. I told Bill, I said, Bill, the biggest down day we've had so far during this whole up move was about 200 points. And we're going to do at least 368 points in one day in the Dow Jones. And that was like, how could that happen? That's almost 11% in one day. Well, you can see what happened. I sold more books that weekend than I think I ever did in my whole life. Anyway, let's move on here and cover some other things about that, because many things have happened here, folks, that I think are very important. There's your 1987, right out of, you can see there it is. So those are exact numbers. If you go to the newsletter, you can see I put them in. You add B plus C minus A, and that gives you your point D, okay? Now, here is the Dow Jones based on the Trading View. These are the exact numbers. You had B plus C minus A takes you to 48,000. It hit 48,500 and something, okay? That's pretty much right on the money, all right? Now, here is the New York Stock Exchange Index. This is the largest and broadest of all the indices. This is the COVID bottom. You add B plus C, okay? You add B plus C minus A, it takes you to 22,000, folks. It hit 22,100 on Friday. So that completed that pattern, all right? So now, but we've got a difference here. First difference is this one. This is Russell. Now you can see Russell here since the COVID bottom. It's made a higher high, but I mean, it's not anywhere close to an ABCD. I mean, it is so far away from an ABCD, you can't even make this up. So that's telling you, even though it looks stronger, it's actually a weaker market.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Okay, folks, here's another one we sent out in the middle of the night. This was long before it got to this level right here. We were looking for a 382 to come in off of the high that we had right back here. And as you can see, that was a 382 from another number. We've been coming down for a long time. There was another 382 right here. Folks, there's a reason why bonds are not going up. That is, there's more sellers than buyers. Someone asked me today, why is that happening? Folks, I don't know. I know I have a hard time just doing AB equals CD. When I get into the astrology stuff, that's what the astrology things that kept me from buying it on November the 22nd. I covered all shorts down there. On November 21st, I did not say buy. I watched it go up. I watched 382s, but I didn't do any myself. But I didn't do it for my other folks, but I'm not going to make that mistake again. I do ABCD. I do it really well. That's all I really know. We got other smart guys that come up and talk about other things, but ABCD tells me where I am, how much I'm going to risk. That's all I really need to know. Remember when we were doing this chart on the daily, we had an absolute perfect head and shoulders pattern. It's off a little here right now because these things shift when you get off and on. There's your shoulder head. Your right shoulder lower than the left shoulder. We made the level down in here, and we can't even rally, folks. This is not a very good sign. Here's when they dropped rates before. We went from 118 to 114. We dropped $4,000. Now we've dropped rates again. Are we going to have another? We get below here, we probably are. All I'm doing is I'm just looking at ABCD. I don't have much more than that. We've been doing that all the time. Do we catch all the trades? My gosh, no one does that. But if we just looked at ABCD, which is not hard to look at, there's your AB leg right there. There's your CD leg right there. Comes within just about a full point of the high. And of course, we had this big move up here, correct? So what's that going to tell us? It's going to tell us that we're going to have at least a 127, especially coming off of here. So let's just add 127 to it, and we'll see what we come up with. There's one, and we'll add 127 to it, and there it is. There's almost your exact high. The high was 118.21, missed it by 10 pips. But this is where we are. We get below here, folks. That's why this little red dot's here. We get below here, we're going to be going down even more. All I'm doing is trying to manage risk. That's what I'm doing. Now, if we take the 10-year note, which I don't trade it, but I do watch it. We'll get this up here for just a second. And it should be right there at the very top. Let's get the hourly up. Let's see if it made a 382 also. I'm sure we did. There's where we are. Looks like a little better than 382 on this one. Yes, it certainly did. Let's get this out of here. Whereas the bonds went to the 382, the Treasury notes, which are the shorter term, went to the 618. So if you sold at 382, your stop has got to be at the 618. You probably would have got stopped out of that one, but the bonds are the ones we trade. So this is what we have. Now it's acting pretty good. You notice here that we're much higher than we are here in the bonds. The sell-off has gone very, very shallow. That's a good sign. So there's still a chance that there could be, if the stocks get hit really bad, there'll probably be a flight to quality, but then we'll have to do that one at a time. Okay, folks, so that's what we're watching here as we look at these things unfold. Now, I'm going to change the narrative here to talk to you just about common sense stuff, okay? I have very little sense, but common sense I have a tiny bit of. I want you to take a look here at artificial intelligence, folks. This is what they've been feeding us, okay? These are all the artificial intelligence stocks. Let's start out with the American AMD. Now you see it's made a big top here and it's backed off quite a bit, okay? That I'm telling you, what I'm trying to show you is the cat's out of the bag. You know, they've already done their trick. Okay, here's Amazon. Look at this. Look how much Amazon is off, okay? All right, let's take a look at the next one. Look at Broadcom. I don't even know what it's doing today, but look at this. Look what it's down. In just one day, look what it dropped. I mean, these were the darlings of the thing. Now Google is still holding up okay. It took out last week's low, so we should check that a little bit later. But the charts are not evaluating, and there's the long term, what it's done over a long period of time. But in other words, it's already done, just like they tried to tell us about negative interest rates. Meta, look at that, okay? And you know how much they've put money into these things. Softy. Look at Softy, how much it's down. It's well over 15% from the high. NVIDIA, Big Daddy Rabbit. Look at this. There's nothing bullish about this stock. Head and shoulders. This pattern here, where it made that head and shoulders, was more bullish than this pattern right here. And look how it's responding to bullish news. I know it's up today, but shut the front door. And my very favorite is Oracle. Boy. Larry Ellison had a $100 billion day back here, and let me just show it to you where his $100 billion is now. There was his $100 billion. He's given that back plus another $100 billion. So something's not right with these things. I'm just saying, here's Tucson. Very good, Larry. Taiwan Semiconductor. I saw the T. I got homesick. There's your ABCD here. We've been here for, this is weekly, so we've been here about 10 weeks. Then we go down to the daily, and you'll see that it's already started doing the same thing, backing off a little bit. So that's what I'm basically trying to tell you. And I have one other section before we have Norm coming up here, and this is just common sense, okay? Common sense again. Here's Amazon. Here's what Amazon's doing. This was a Black Friday sale that was supposed to be great, and now it's trading down here. Number one. Number two, look at BlackRock, folks. For the first time, look at this. BlackRock is not beating the market. Their famous program Aladdin, look, stocks are up here. This is down here with a massive head and shoulder. And they only have 23 million under management, okay? Look at this. Home Depot. Who the hell's fixing up the houses? Boy, that's another one. Why is that happening? Now, here's my favorite. Costco. Always filled up. Greatest hot dogs in town. Here's the Black Friday sale. It's holiday season. The stores are filled. The lines are long. What's wrong? Why isn't this thing going straight up? Okay. Federal Express. Look at that. Well, it's made an ABCD, but it's still far from its high. But if we look at the big ones here, look at this Union Pacific Railroad. It's in a downtrend. Shipping goods. UPS. Find me something bullish about this one, folks. They got management problems, I think. Visa. People are not even using their credit cards like they should be using. Something is not right. And the best one of all is still working, and that's Walmart. It still looks pretty good. Good morning, Walmart shoppers. Okay, let's get up here, and we've got a guest coming in. Mr. Norm Winsky will be with us here. Let's see if we have 43 seconds left, enough to take a look at Mr. Appel, who's down by the well, and we'll take a quick look at Apple right here. It's probably holding up really good, and we'll see. Oh, it's not working. That's not holding up pretty good. See, we're back down here in Apple today. It's taken another beating. So there was your 382 today. 382 is what you do. You watch for that. You'll be a king of the hill. 79.74. So we'll be right back with Norm Winsky of Astro Trends, folks, right out of the Morgan Library.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors. This portion of Trade What You See is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Okay, we're back, folks, directly from New York City via Naples, Florida. Norm Winsky, good afternoon, young man.
Good afternoon, Larry. Thanks very much for having me on your show.
Please be our guest and tell us what you're looking at, and congratulations. You had a couple of great calls the last time you were on, so keep up the good work and show us what you're looking at today, my friend.
Thank you very much. I was last on your show on December 4th, just ahead of the full moon, and we had 5 cycle points that I forecasted, the markets that go with those cycles. And for example, the night AC is after the close. That's overnight, so we'd be looking possibly for a trade on the next day's opening. That'd be the 5th. And that night the night of the 4th, we had a full moon in the sign of Gemini and perigee, which, you know, Larry, is a somewhat rare event. It only occurs about every 14 months, or the perigee apogee cycle lines up with the full moon, and that's when the moon is closest and you have a full moon, and the moon looks extra large, you know, and bright. And so anytime, though, we have a full moon or new moon, we want to be looking at financials, grains, precious metals, and oil. And then also that night we had Jupiter line up with the U.S. chart. That's based on the founding of the USA on July the 4th, 1776. Some of your folks may know, and some don't, that they didn't tell me this in school. I learned it later, that Benjamin Franklin, one of our most brilliant founding fathers, was an astrologer, and he was advising Thomas Jefferson, who was the author of the Declaration of Independence, on what time he should sign that and start our country, you know. So anyway, then we have the next point we had was the night of the 5th. We had Helio, that's from the point of view of the sun, Mars entering Capricorn, and that's relevant right now because we just had Geo from the point of view, geocentric from the point of view of the Earth, Mars entering Capricorn, and I think that was over the weekend here, and so we wanted to be looking at coffee for that. And then we have the night of the 9th, we had Neptune in the sign of Pisces, which is said to be Neptune's own sign, turning direct. That's the opposite of retrograde, if you're familiar with that. And that's oil. And then the afternoon of the 11th, that was the last Thursday, you might remember, Helio, that's from the point of view of the sun, Saturn lined up with Neptune in Aries for the Helio. It's in Aries in the Helioland there. And that's the Helio is from the point of view of the sun. And then we want to look at coffee and oil. Okay, and the most important thing is most people are interested in the stock market, and the stocks potentially respond to all these events versus commodities only tend to respond to their particular planet or sign, their narrow filters. So let's look at how it all came out. Here's corn. We had our lunar point there, and you got a little short-term high there. You can see the corn and it was kind of in a narrow trading band there, so that's about as good as it's going to get. Yeah, a little short-term top there. Green is good, red is bad, and yellow is a pass on these markings on these charts. There you see soybeans for a couple of days just going sideways, so we do nothing there. And it's really going sideways, so we did nothing there, unfortunately. And then coffee, you had a low here, a little bit of a drawdown, but if you bought there and hung on, a few days later you were in the green. And then they had a really nice turn here on the last Saturday when Saturn is coffee lined up with Neptune, and then you had a nice big down there for I think about 8 to 10 handles, which every handle in coffee is good for $375. So we're talking several $1,000s there. And silver had a beautiful pullback into the full moon right there. And then that was just before it went kind of almost parabolic, whoa, that's a rocket right there from that low up to late last week when it made a new all-time high. I think the March contract hit about $65 before it turned down on, actually it corresponded. I didn't have it on my radar for Saturn and Neptune for the lineup, but it had a huge down there, reversal on that Friday. Here's the gold. Gold made a little short-term top there and dropped about $80 there. Doesn't look like much because the scale, the move's so big, these swings are so big that the scale got squished, Here, oil was beautiful. Look at that. You're right on the top there on our full moon. And then we came down here to the Neptune thing. That's oil. And you had a little short-term low there, and it popped up for, I think, a couple handles. Let's see, you're at 50, 80, about $1.50. And then you had a huge down here and a nice low there on Thursday afternoon. And then it popped up again for, let's see, how much is that? It's 57, about $1.50 to almost $2 there. And S&P was probably our best market over the last couple of weeks. You see there, we're making a topping formation here. And then the because these moves are so big, the scale got squished. And that's a nice move there from 50, 68 down to, looks like about 80 handles there on that downswing. And then over here, this was big. And you moved up about 100 there. And I know Thursday, that top there on Friday, on the Thursday top to the low there on Friday, that was about 100 handles there. And so we did really great on the S&P. T-bonds, we kind of struck out. We had 2 points for the T-bonds, and we struck out on those. Those did not work. And also on the U.S. dollar, those did not work at all. So sorry, I missed it getting 100%. I only did 13 winners out of 17, 4 misses for 76.47%. Here's what's coming up starting tomorrow night. So we have geocentric Jupiter going to line up with in alignment with the planet Uranus for cattle, copper, cotton, and silver. You might want to take a screenshot of these, so you can follow along. And then the night of the 18th into the 18th is a Thursday, so on Friday morning, we want to be looking at Venus cycle for cattle, copper, cotton, sugar, wheat. You got some overlap between these two cycles here.
Norm, we got to take a break. We'll be back. Okay. We got another segment coming, so take a deep breath, and we'll be right back, okay?
Thank you.
We'll be right back with Norm Winski, folks. Stay tuned.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Okay, Norm, we've had requests to start out when we were talking about the very first back aspect, which was Jupiter coming in. Start with that, and then we'll start from the beginning, okay?
Okay, the start
of what's coming up.
The forecasting part, right?
Yep.
We got Jupiter lining up with Uranus, and that's good for. That's what we want to watch: cattle, copper, cotton, silver. Let me tell you what you're really looking for here. We're looking for where the market has had some kind of an extreme where it's been moving up or moving down, and then we look for reversal in that window. So that will be tomorrow night into Wednesday morning. You'll be wanting to watch these markets, and of course, again, stocks potentially respond to all these events. So if you're trading the stock market, you want to see the stock market moving up or moving down. So we don't do sideways. That's Mr. Newton said, Isaac Newton said, for every action, the opposite equal reaction, and that's what we're looking for that opposite and equal reaction. We had that on the S&P when we had that top on Thursday, and then the huge down on Friday. That was nailed the afternoon for the afternoon. Saturn Neptune lined up Thursday afternoon, and we topped out on Friday's opening. And then we had the big down. Okay, our next cycle we're going to be looking at is Thursday night, the 18th, into Friday's opening. That's right, Friday's opening. We have a Venus cycle for copper, cotton, sugar, and wheat. And then the weekend of the 19th, we got 3 things we're going to be looking at with a new moon. Anytime we have a new moon, full moon, we'll look at financials, grains, precious metals, and oil. And then also we have 2 points for the U.S. chart for stocks, T-bonds, and U.S. dollar. Okay, and I don't know, anything from the Tigers Den there, Larry, or?
No, they wanted to cover that. Now, we did have one question. I wrote it down. That is there one aspect that, like when you said Jupiter with I forget what it was, but the question was,
Jupiter
of
and
all the
Uranus,
aspects
maybe?
You talk about, is there one that is stronger than the others? Are they weighted in any way?
Well, they're weighted in terms of the bigger the cycle, the more powerful. Think about it like boats and ships. If you got a big oil tanker in the ocean and it turns, it can cause a wake a mile long, you know? If you got a little speedboat and it turns, it's not going to be more than, maybe a few yards effect on the water there,
So we're looking for the tankers.
So some of the planets, for Mercury only takes 88 days to go around the sun. Pluto takes 248 years to go around the sun. That's the difference, you see.
Well,
there's a trade-off between frequency and power. The high frequency planets, the ones with the shorter cycle, the faster cycle, they do a lot of activity, but they're not very powerful. Versus the big longer term, what's called the outer planets, they have much longer term cycles. Mm-hmm. They don't do things very often, but when they do, then we get the big moves.
Just like on August the 25th of 1987, we had, 5 planets at conjunction and opposition, and that was supposed to be near the end of the Mayan calendar or something. I remember. Oh, it was harmonic convergence. That's what it was, yeah.
Right, that was the
high of the stock market. Sure was.
That actually happened on Sunday. Well, we didn't trade on Sundays back then. August the 24th, you had 5 planets and the new moon all lined up in near early Virgo there, all in a very narrow sector, and then that was the high of the year in 1987 for the stock market. And then we kind of diddled around and drifted lower into October, as you mentioned, and then we had the final rally was into the lunar eclipse. I think it was on about the 7th of October, and then from that point it went. I think the Dow dropped like over 500 points in the next day or two.
22% in one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, biggest day ever. Also on that day, August the 25th, the very famous astrologer that had been on Louis Rukeyser, very flamboyant fellow, friend of Arch Crawford's, but he died on that day. I happen to follow his work and stuff. I can't remember his name, having a senior moment here, but he was living very close to where Arch lived in New York, and he used to be on Rukeyser about once every 2 or 3 months. But anyway, Norm, tell the folks how they can reach you, and then we'll have you on in a couple of weeks. Anytime you see something really super good, you let us know, and we'll get you on the program, okay?
Okay, I'm in beautiful Naples, Florida. It's not freezing here. It's okay. And you can call me if you like, and if you don't catch me, just leave a message on my voicemail, 239-594-3939. That's 239-594-3939. Please, if you email me, only email this email address, NWINSKI, that's Nwinsky, at yahoo.com. That's NWINSKI at yahoo.com. And looking forward to helping some of the folks there, Larry.
Norm, thank you very much, my friend, and we'll have you on again soon, okay?
Super. Thanks a lot, Larry. Okay, everybody have a great week.
You bet. Norm Winsky, folks. Hold on 1 second, and we'll pull up a couple of we've got a couple of questions about stocks, and I'll bring those to you in just 1 second. All I've got to do is put the old thing in the war. Here we go. We're ready to go. Here, we got it up, and let's get the stock up, and that is the stock of Caterpillar, the number 2 winning stock. Well, the highest second priced highest stock in the Dow Jones, and here's Caterpillar. We're down a little bit today. Here's where we are. This is just a 60-minute. We'll get this up here on the long-term daily. Oh, I think it might have made a new high on Friday. Yeah, there it is. They made another new high. We're down just a little bit today, but this is one of the big ones, folks. This is $600 a share. Remember, it's price weighted, not cap weighted, like Goldman Sachs is also price weighted. All the stocks of the Dow, because of the Dow Jones family, they didn't want to do it the way that it should be done with capitalization. The number of shares times the price of the shares tell you how much it's worth, and that's not the way to do it. But they run the show, so they make the rules, okay? So that's what we're watching here. Let's take a look now at Goldman Sachs before the break. That's always watching, because when Goldman Sachs takes a hit, everybody's watching. And this is Goldman Sachs today. I think, well, we were up. Let's see where we are here. This is a 60-minute this morning. We had a nice little, let's see, we backed off. Yeah, well, actually, we were up this morning early. You see, we made a little bit of a rally. Now we're selling off a little bit, just like we are in the Dow Jones itself. The little rally that we had back this morning looked like it went almost exactly to the 50% level, and now we're backing off here a little bit. So we're going to take another little quick break here, then we're going to wrap it up, and we're going to see you on the flip side tomorrow. But we got another segment coming, and we got two things to talk about. One is crude oil, and the second one is, believe it or not, soybean meal. Okay, so we'll be right back, folks. Stay tuned.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, folks, this is our hanging by a thread trade. We bought it at 07. It's trading at 06.30. We're out $70. Misstopping us out by 30 cents. Keep your stop working at 304. We're at 306 right now. If you see a new low, you'll take a loss of $300. Right now, it's out $70, and it's up on the day, which is a good sign. If we look at this intraday, you'll see that it did have a little bit of a pop early this morning, and then it came back down again. The stop is right below here. Now, you backed off quite a bit, going sideways, but the fact that it's still up on the day after all this is actually a good sign. But below this is not a good sign. It's not about how much money you make, folks. It's how much money you don't lose. So keep that focus, and you're going to be just fine, all right? That's the main thing to focus. It's not how much money you make. It's how much money you don't lose. That's the whole reason for doing, what we're doing here, because it gives you an idea of what the risk is in some of these things, okay? But so far, we've had a pretty good day so far. That doesn't mean it's going to end up that way, but that's it. Remember, our stop's got to be right here at 304. Makes a new low. We're history. And, it's not acting really great, but we're still in it. We still got a chance. In fact, it had this means that there was some short covering there. Then it backed all the way off, but it hasn't made a bottom yet. Anytime we can get above this level, 309, then we know we've got something to hang our hat on. We can put our stop at break even, and that's it. But right now we have to control the amount of money that we have at risk and how much money we think we're going to make, because no one knows what that's going to be, but we can control our risk. And that's what we're doing here as we look at this. So live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless. And I hope we'll have another guest tomorrow. Try to get either Shane Smolian or maybe Stan Harley, or maybe even Shane Smolian, or Mike Moore. One of those three we'll probably have as a guest tomorrow or Wednesday. So live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless.